Many would call Jamie Fowler a meathead. He can bench 345 pounds, stacks out the shoulder press machine, and can curl 80-pound dumbbells per arm. Needless to say, this Midlands bodybuilder's strength is impressive. But it's the strength that you can't physically see in Jamie that's the most impressive of all.
I was born healthy, normal, fine. Like I said, I was getting ready for my vaccinations for school. My parents had taken me to the health department.
When Jamie was 2 years old, he contracted paralytic polio from the oral polio vaccine.
I came down with a high temperature, a high fever.
Once that fever broke, his right leg was paralyzed, unable to grow with the rest of his body.
I grew up as with a walker, learning how to walk, and then the older I got, I had to wear a brace on my leg, and then I had to wear the built-up shoe.
The oral vaccine that gave Jamie paralytic polio is no longer distributed in the United States, but it was a known side effect at the time. Dr. Hans Oliver with Providence Family Medicine explains.
It was always known that there was a chance of getting contracting paralytic polio from the oral polio virus, yet we still used it. We used it here in the United States. And one of the reasons that we used it is that the benefits of it outweighed the small risk factor.
So small, in fact, that only 1 out of every 2.4 million people developed that form of polio from the vaccine. Of course, that number isn't small to Jamie.
When I was about 13 years old, my back and my hip had deteriorated so bad I had been put in a wheelchair. And that was probably my lowest point. I remember in school, my mom having to take me to school, and the van door opening and the wheelchair gate out, and here I was, a kid in school, right at the right age that, want to like girls and try to be impressive and this and that. And here I was, the kid in the class or the kid in the school rolling around in a wheelchair.
Jamie spent 2.5 years in the Shriners Hospital where he had a bone-breaking surgery, filling bone that he lacked with stainless steel and learning how to walk again.
You have people who don't have the proper upbringing, or they don't have God in their heart, and there's just downright mean people out there.
He got picked on growing up, but a bit of perspective helped him grow stronger physically and mentally.
I just thought I was bad. I just thought I had it bad. When you're in that hospital, you see some things that will change your life forever.
And his life did change.
I do not think of myself as handicapped. I do not look at myself as handicapped.
To help build muscle and lessen the side effects of his condition, Jamie started working out with his friend and bodybuilder, Gabe Miles.
He started coming in the evenings, and I didn't know how it was going to be, what he could do, what he wasn't going to be able to do, and he came and he never missed a beat.
Gabe was so impressed, he convinced Jamie to compete in a state bodybuilding competition. He finished in the top 10.
The first time I walked on stage, all the bright lights, it was such an adrenaline rush. So from there on, I've been hooked ever since.
Then he traveled to North Carolina, where he came in second.
I have a wife and a beautiful little girl of my own. I look at the things that I do, and I want her to be proud of her father.
When Jamie was younger, his motivation was often based on fitting in. Now, his motivation is based on helping others.
I have so many people that'll just come over there and want to talk to you and say, hey, can I get a picture with you? Or, just want to tell you thank you. And they'll tell me about situations about their children. Maybe that's what my purpose is. My purpose is to motivate people. If I can do it, you can do it. That's for sure.
Call Jamie Fowler a meathead if you want to. Just be sure to add the words motivated.
To this day, the doctors tell me I should be walking with a cane, but hey, it'd be all right. I'll just walk with a little bit of a limp, no problem.
And inspiring.
It's been a struggle, but I feel like it's built character and made me who I am today.
A very good morning to you. Thanks so much for waking up with News 19 this morning. I'm Lauren Talarico. It is Friday, March 7th. Your time is 4:30. There is a very good chance you are waking up to showers this morning. We've been feeling it since yesterday, and it's been coming down pretty steadily ever since. Several areas in the Midlands have gotten a good pounding of that wet stuff, but it looks like there is some relief in the near future. For a first check on your forecast, here's Amy Aronson. Good morning, Amy. In Greenville County, a man has been arrested and charged with murder after police say he killed a teacher and then set fire to an upstate hotel. Investigators say 21-year-old Darren Askew strangled Lori Patton at a Quality Inn and Suites on Monday morning and then set the room on fire. He was arrested while driving her car in Georgia after going just 30 miles per hour on the interstate there. Patton was a special ed teacher at Berea Middle School. No word on a motive yet, but investigators say Patton was his former teacher. The Richland County coroner has ID'd the victim in a deadly shooting at a Columbian nightclub. He's 34-year-old Luther Mitchell. He was killed at about 1:30 yesterday morning outside Bananas nightclub on Decker Boulevard. Investigators say Mitchell got into a fight with a woman in the parking lot, and then the woman's boyfriend joined in, shooting Mitchell. Deputies say they do know who was involved and continue to investigate to see if charges should be filed. The Department of Mental Health is asking state lawmakers for $1 million to put more counselors in our public schools. News 19's Stephen Dial spoke with the department to find out exactly what the counselors would be doing. A Minneapolis couple is thankful for a simple act of kindness coming at a time when their lives were anything but simple. Jana Shortle has their story. What a great story. Random acts of kindness really do make a big difference in our lives. Tonight is the official kickoff to St. Pat's in 5 Points. The event starts at 5 p.m. and will feature bagpipers, Irish dancers, and dyeing the fountain green, of course. Everyone is invited to attend this free event. Justin Bethel, a Columbia native and Pro Bowl cornerback for the Cardinals, has been in town all week long giving back to our community. Bethel played for Blythewood High and also was on the all-defensive team for the Big South Conference while playing at Presbyterian College. Last night he spent time with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Columbia at Frankie's Fun Park. He played games and signed autographs. Bethel also signed autographs for kids at the Village at Sand Hill. Turkey hunting season is right around the corner, and while many hunters are getting prepared for the spring season, one turkey enthusiast is making noise nationally for his turkey calls. News 19's Daniel Bonds brings us the story. The turkey hunting season starts in Orangeburg and Calhoun counties on March 15th. It starts elsewhere in the Midlands on April 1st. Last year, more than 19,000 wild turkeys were harvested in South Carolina.
Look at this. Can you see that breath? That's how cold it is out here. Okay, I am right here on the Gervais Street Bridge. Literally, I'm touching the ground here. And listen, we're talking about black ice today. That's why several schools are delayed, schools are closed because of the roadway conditions. Now, go ahead and pan here, but you can see that ice. This is solid ice, guys. I kicked this one a little earlier, but you can see it's not getting off those roadways too easily. And I want to explain why bridges are a little bit more dangerous than the rest of those roads. You always see those signs that say bridge ices before the roadways do, and here's why. When you're talking about the ground, you have air coming from one place, the sky, right, from around us, and the ground still holds that heat, so things don't freeze as quickly when you're just talking about those regular roads. But bridges, it's a different story, and I'm going to use this piece of paper here to demonstrate why. Okay, pretend this is a bridge. You can see air comes from below, air comes from above, air comes from the right, comes from the left, which means the roadways, those bridges freeze a lot faster than our ground does. That's why they ask to be really careful when we're driving over bridges.